Hello guys, welcome back to Patrick TV GH. This is your savings tutor, Mr. Patrick Ban, coming your way with another edition on this channel, Patrick TV GH, Ghana's #1 YouTube financial channel. Today we are going to look at factors that you need to consider when you want to buy a car in Ghana. Perhaps you're in the university or you just started working or you've been working for some years now, you want to buy a car. What are the factors that you need to consider before you choose a particular car, A, B, a type A or a type B? Before we delve into action, we want to take a short commercial break from our sponsors, Adum City Estate, Pensions Alliance Trust, and BBH Microcredit. When we come back, we'll delve into this particular topic. I'll be right back.
Have you heard about Pensure?
Pensure is a hospitalization benefit, disability and life insurance benefits package underwritten by Allianz Life Insurance for Pensions Alliance Trust, or PAT.
As a contributor to PAT, you get to enjoy Pensure for free as your contribution accumulates under the Tier 3 and Enindasu Wealth Builder Pension Scheme. This hospitalization benefit, disability and life insurance cover enhances your family's financial security. So what are you waiting for? Join Pensions Alliance Trust today and enjoy these free benefits too. Pensure, your financial security enhanced.
To sign up, call us on 0302 775 349 or 0501 553 839.
Email us at clientservice@pensionsalliancetrust.com or use the web portal on our website www.pensionsalliancetrust.com. Alternatively, you can reach us on any of our social media pages on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. Pensions Alliance Trust is available on your phone through the PAT app on both Android and iOS. Terms and conditions apply. Pensions Alliance Trust, securing your future.
Hello guys, welcome back from the commercial break. We are still on Patrick TV GH, Ghana's #1 YouTube financial channel. If you have not subscribed to the channel, please hit the subscribe button, the red button we see on the screen, to get more information going forward and get updates on new videos. As I said in the introduction, today we are looking at factors that one will need to consider when you want to buy a car in Ghana. And I'm blessed to have in the studio again Mr. Jeffrey Akwa, an automobile service advisor. He was here some weeks ago to talk about fuel, but today he's coming to help us discuss the factors that you need to consider when choosing a car or buying a car in Ghana. Mr. Akwa, you're welcome.
Thank you, Patrick.
I hope everything is well.
God's grace, His grace is keeping us.
Wonderful, wonderful. It's good to have you back on Patrick TV.
Thank you.
The first session, the feedback was quite okay, quite great. People are beginning to put their lives in shape when it comes to how much fuel they need to buy and the tips that they need to implement. Today, we want to look at the factors you need to consider when you are buying a car. The first question I want to ask is that, are all cars the same? Do you have types of cars?
Okay, before I start, I would like to greet your wonderful listeners. All cars are not the same.
Okay.
Now, in Ghana here, we have saloon cars. You can talk about the four-wheel drive cars and all that. So not all cars are the same.
Okay, so it means there are classifications of cars.
Yes.
Okay, so at what stage of a person's life should one consider buying a car? So I'm in the university. Do I need to use a car? Is it necessary? I'm working. First year in my employment life. So what stage of a person's life should one consider buying a car?
No, after age 18, you can own a car if you have the means to.
Okay.
And if your parents are well-to-do, they can also support you in that endeavor. And I believe every young family needs a car for their day-to-day activities.
Okay.
Startup companies also need car for their business errands. School need buses. You have to pick people and staffs. You also have companies having buses to convey their staffs and all that. So it's not a luxury, but is a need.
But is it really necessary that one gets a car? You said as a family you need to get a car. Is it necessary, or certain things should trigger the need to get a car? Because we always say that someone who has worked for some number of years, if he doesn't he's not having a car, it's sometimes seen as failure. So this person has been working. What does it have to show? But if someone goes into employment and a year or two they buy a car, we think that they are doing well. I want us to. What's the difference between the two? Or it depends on the person's strength. If you think you are okay, you should just buy it.
Now, as I mentioned earlier, it's a need, and for convenience sake, you will need a portable car to be able to help you manage your day-to-day lifestyle. Okay. There are times you need to travel. There are times there are urgent calls. You need to pick your children to hospitals and all these places. You need car to make your life a bit comfortable. Without it, life becomes a bit challenging.
Okay. So with that said, I think I'm okay with that now. What goes into the selection of a car? What should we consider when we want to choose a particular brand of car or a particular type of car? As we said, we have saloon, we have four-wheel. What should go into the selection process when you want to go for a car?
Now, if you want to go for a particular car, I would put this in two ways: a new car and a used one. Okay. Now, for a new one, the first thing you have to look out for is the purpose. Now, what are you using the car for? Now, is it for the family? Is it for work? If for work, which type of work are you involved in? Is it a construction work? Because if it's a construction, you need a robust one. If it's for family, you need one that is more comfortable, like 5-seater with less engine capacity and all that to carry you through. So the purpose is very important. Okay. Now, secondly, you also have to look at your budget. How much do you intend to spend on the car?
Okay.
Yes. Then you need to decide on that. Then the prices differ due to brands. There could be 2, 3, 4 brands, but then their prices are different. Okay. You understand? Here, I don't want to mention a particular brand because of one or two issues. You also need to consider the technical support. Okay. Now, are there dealerships in this country who can service your car in case you have difficulties? Okay. Because most of these modern cars have computerized systems in them. Okay. And once in a while, they need an update. Okay. Now, do we have industries where when you are faced with such difficulties, you can be supported in that way? So you need a local dealership to be able to take care of your cars. You also have to consider the cost of spare parts. Okay. The cost of spare parts and maintenance. Okay. Sometimes the cost of maintenance even goes beyond the price of the car comparatively, goes beyond that. So you need to research about the cost. Okay. Because some of the parts, I tell you, it's mind-blowing. You understand? Especially when a car is involved in an accident and you have to be given a quotation. You see that sometimes it can even be more than the price of the car. That is where the insurance companies will decide to write it off. Okay. And pay you 90% or whatever percentage you deserve. You also have to look at the resale value or resale value. Okay. It's very important. Now, we normally would say that a vehicle depreciates 20% every year. So after 3-4 years, if you want to sell the car, would you be able to make money, an amount of money in there to be able to top up and buy a new one? Okay. Some will not, some have low value, some cars also have high values. For used cars, you have to look at the vehicle history. Okay. Which is very important.
That's the mileage.
Not only the mileage.
You only look at the mileage.
Yeah, you only look at the mileage, but the history could be in the form of Has it been involved in an accident before? Is it a recall car? Now, recall cars are cars that have been manufactured with defects. So with time, the manufacturers can recall those cars to fix those cars or to fix those devices that are faulty for free. And some people might not know, and they would buy those cars and have issues. So apart from the accident, whether it's a stolen car, you also have to know. Else one day you just be driving the car and in town you'll be stopped and the car will be taken away from you. So you have to know the history of the car. Has it been involved in an accident? Is it a recall car? Is it a stolen? You have to determine all these things. And there are websites to check all such things too. Then you need to go around the car, check the rust, the paint damage, walk around it for proper examination, then also the frames. The frame supports the car. Now, you realize that you'll be driving in town and you see a car tilted in a way. I don't know whether you have observed. There are frame issues. And that means that that car has been involved in an accident which has not been properly fixed. So you end up wearing your tires most of the time. Instead of changing your vehicle tires like within 3 to 5 years, you end up changing them every now and then. And that also will cost you a lot of money. In used cars, you have to check the engine, whether it's noisy, whether there are fluid leakages. That means the bonnet had to be open for you to do those checks. Crack hoses, corrosion, all the belts. You need to see where there are cracks. Then also the condition of the tires. You have to know the condition of the tires. If there's any wear, it should be even wear. It shouldn't be on one-sided. Now, where it's one-sided, then you know that there are alignment issues, there are suspension issues, and all that. You also need to check the interior electronics, like the radio, the air conditioning, the airbags, the steering controls, and all that, because you will need all these things for your comfort. If you don't check them, then you won't enjoy the comfort you need, because if they are faulty, you have a lot of light on your panels, which will not really help you. The upholstery part is also there. You check all those upholstery, the seats and all that. Then you need to test drive the car. Yourself and with somebody. Now, what we normally do is that we do highway testing only. But then you need to go on the rough road as well. Because most of the roads we use in Ghana are not the first class roads, I would say. So you need to test drive to check the brakes, the acceleration, the suspension, then a mechanic to inspect the car.
Before you buy?
Before you buy, the mechanic, a trusted mechanic, he or she can determine the underlying issues and can advise you as to whether this car is good for the purpose.
So I think we are clear on the things that we need to consider for both used cars and new cars. After buying the car, is that all? So in Ghana, you only see people taking their cars to the fitting shops or the servicing shops only when they've broken down. What should we do after buying the car?
Now, after buying the car, there are service schedules that the manufacturers recommend. It could be time-based or mileage-based. Now, some of these cars are in miles and others are in kilometers. Now, you need to know at which point to change what. So, a maintenance maximizes the life and performance of a car. Sometimes it could be regular, other times some are regular, others are long-term. So you need to know what to do. Now, these are some of the short-term checks or the normal servicing you need to do. The oil, the coolant levels you need to check, especially the air filters. Then the air filter is very important. The life of an engine depends on an air filter.
Okay.
To put it, the air filter. Because this one, we have a dusty roads. Now, the engine must take in fresh air, filtered air. But most times we fail to take a look at the air filter. So we end up buying engine after every 2 years and 3 years. So we need to check that. Then the tire pressures also must be checked every month and if possible rotated. If it's a two-wheel drive, it means that the tires that are taking the drive wears faster than those that are just driving. So every 6 months, you can rotate the front wheels or road wheels to the back and bring the back ones to the front so that they'll be even wear. Also, you look at the lights, the headlights, the turn signals, the brake light, the parking light. Now, some of the lights are not visible. If you are driving, they are behind you. Now, a driver must know when you are braking, when you are turning to the left or the right. Now, most of these bulbs would have gone off without your knowledge. So we must be checking them. And that is what causes a lot of accidents, because the driver behind you might not know whether you are stopping or moving. Oil filters, the oil, and once in a while, the body of the car must be, you have to go for waxing. Waxing protects the paint of the car and it prevents it from rusting.
Okay.
It's not only going to the washing bay to use other detergents. You need wax once in a while. At least once in every 4 months, you can wax your car to protect the body of the car from the excessive sun, from rusting and all that. And that can keep your car going. Yeah. There are long-term checks, the transmission, the inspection of the shocks, the underneath, the coolant, the spark plugs, and the belts I mentioned. Some cars will use the timing belt, and those belts, when they break down or go off, it means that it can really damage the engine, and you need to get an engine replacement. So the belts for the air conditioning, you need to inspect and ensure that they are free from cracks.
Okay.
Yeah. Then there are seasonal checkups you need to do. Replacement of windscreen wipers, which we need to replace them often, especially during this rainy season. Yeah. You know, you have to, because the rubbers are very thin, and because of that, they can get hardened in no time. Okay. So they can also bring about scratching the windscreen, which we wouldn't want to. The battery, you need to check. Change of tires, coolants, and all that. Okay. So these are some of the maintenance and servicing things you need to check. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much for your insight. I think that our viewers have learned a few things today on what they should consider when buying a car, and not just buying the car, what they should do afterwards. Viewers, I believe you have enjoyed our session again with Mr. Akwa. He's an automobile service advisor, and he's been sharing some nuggets of wisdom with us. If you have enjoyed our session, as you always do, kindly subscribe to our channel on YouTube. As you can see, the red subscribe button. Just click on it and follow us on all social media handles: Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, everywhere that you see Patrick TVGA. Just follow us for financial tips. We'll come back your way again next week with another educative session on this channel. This is Ghana's #1 YouTube financial channel. See you again.